So the transition plan is a great tool to use to really think about where you're at now and where you want to be. There's another ideation tool that we will use called the 15-year career game, but this can be really good once you have a good plan in mind or a good idea about what you want to be doing, say 2 or 3 years in advance. Basically what you want to write down first is where are you now. So point A is the first point, so you can write down the things as it said, your role, salary, industry, etc. And the reason why you are mainly looking for leaving that position. Then you jump over to point B. And point B is where do you want to be? So same kind of thing, you might have a specific role or not, but you might have some ideas about the salary, industry, the type of company, the location, etc. about where you want to be. And then what you work on is this part in the middle around the gap. So what are the things that are holding you back? If you remember in a previous module, we really looked at the obstacles that are holding you back from getting you where you want to be. So you could revisit the preset test, or you could sort of list out some things here about what it is that's holding you back. Once you've had a good think about that, then what you can start doing is writing out the action plans that are the things that are closing those gaps. So say for example, one of the obstacles or the gaps is a specific qualification. If that is real, then that qualification might take 3 months. So your first action would be to gain XYZ qualifications within 3 months. And then that would be the deadline of that completion, would be, say you're putting 6 months on that, and it would be July 2016. Another thing might be around your networking. You might have identified that it's the people and relationships that you need to get to where you want to be. So you might create in the second action plan a really specific positioning, networking plan and action plan. And the deadline of that would be over the next 12 months, for example. So that's basically a career transition plan. The purpose of this is actually to take off any pressure of you feeling like if you're not quite right or feeling not quite right in your role right now that you have to make a decision to leave that job right now. This actually shows you that you can transition into a different role or a completely different career over a period of time. It doesn't have to be immediately, it could literally take 5 years. An example of that is my role. So I wanted to leave the recruitment industry actually for a while and spent, as you've heard before, about 2 years thinking about what I actually wanted to do. And then once I figured out what I wanted to do, I still had to spend some time transitioning out of one thing to another because of practical reasons. It's probably still taken the best part of 2 years to transition wholly and solely into the career coaching industry out of recruitment. And if any of you received an email in December 2015, that transition is complete now. So it did take me a little while to transition from one thing to another, and that's the point here. You don't have to do anything drastic. You can transition, and the feeling and the energy that I have felt over the last 2 years, knowing that I was on the path to where I wanted to go, has enabled me to, serve my recruitment and HR consulting clients in the right way, because I know that ultimately I'm going where I needed to be. So use this worksheet. We can talk about this worksheet together. Remember, all of these are tools to inspire greater thinking. The key is always tap into your intuition when you're sitting anything out and use these tools as the specific how.